Hello everybody. I need to kind of think of a plan of what I'm going to do with the car from now on. But in the immediate future, I want to just get it off the stand. I spent a load of time last week polishing the bottom because there's overspray over everything because the extraction was so bad in here. So the bottom's done and polished off. I just need to get it off the stand. So to get it off the stand, I need to put it on something. So inevitably, I've now got a full set of brand new old stock air jacks. So we're going to get those in the car at some point, but I need to build some stands for them to sit on. So I was going to do that out of alley, but I don't know how to weld alley. So step one, learn how to weld alley. Right, I did have a go at sticking some welds on alley last week, but I had all sorts of nightmares. There's just loads of crap in the welds. I don't know how much I'm going to explain any of this because there's loads of videos of how to weld alley by people who can actually weld alley on the internet. So I won't explain too much, but when you are welding it, you get a cleaning action around the weld. So you see the fuzzy bit at the end, that's it cleaning the alley before it starts kind of trying to weld it. And I just wasn't getting any of that, even with the balance turned right up, which is how much cleaning action you've got. So I was talking to a mate, and the thing that changed it was like maxing out the argon flow. And even with it maxed out, you could still see little bits of black rubbish in the weld. And you'll see from the earlier videos that I've had loads of problems with the supply of the welding gas that I use. So I think it might be a dodgy bottle. So when they empty it and fill it back up, it just gets contaminated with stuff. So I put my money in my pocket and got another gas cylinder, but from BOC this time, because apparently you kind of get what you pay for. I was going to start off just by running some welds on this 1000 series alley with the old bottle, and then we'll swap over the bottle and then we'll try again and see if that's fixed it, and if it is, then we can start thinking about making some stands for these little boys. Okay, that's one done on the old gas. I don't think you guys can see it, so I'm going to move the camera into something funky. 80 amps, 30% cleaning, and there's still crap in it. We'll change the gas over and see if it makes any difference, or see if it's just my incompetence. Very different. Look at this. There you go. So that's the one with the old gas, and you can see there's no cleaning around it. And then as soon as we swap gas, no other changes, and it's all gone like that. The actual weld as well is now clean and shiny, whereas before it was full of little black bits in there. So that's good. It's not good that I've got a rubbish bottle of argon and got through half of it, but I'll take it back and shove it right up his. I've got these, look. It's like aluminium cutting discs that are really good. I've used them now, so I can recommend them. Don't know, I just got them off eBay or whatever. But they're really good because normal ones just clog up and then explode. I used to do the old candle trick where you keep putting the grinding disc on wax. I don't know if it's just an old wives' tale or something, but those just go straight through it. So I'm going to cut that, and then we'll try an open corner weld. When I'm doing all the actual tanks on the car and things like that, I think I'm just going to design them all in CAD and then get someone else just to like water cut them and bend them, and then they'll just turn up and I can just weld them up, because I haven't got a finger bender or anything like that. And I'm starting to learn that some jobs, the tools cost more than an alternative way of getting it done. So anyone wants to know what that noise is down there, it's the water cooler for the TIG welder. Makes a bit of a racket, but it's actually a guy called ThisOldTony on YouTube who did a really good 30-minute video of rebuilding his entire water cooler to save 2 decibels, and it's peak YouTube, so I'd recommend going and watching that. I'll actually put the link in below, it's that good.
Not far from spending £800 on a quiet compressor.
It's only 50 quid more for the quiet one. You're going to do it, aren't you? That's, what's that, 5 decibels? 4 decibels? You could almost hear that. Not very good at a lot of things, but the one thing I'm not good at is tacking. I just seem to melt everything all the time whenever I do it, and then, I don't know, you watch people who are really good, you watch them and they like give it loads of heat and it just tacks straight away. When I do that, it just explodes. Some people do it slowly. When I do it slowly, it just melts all the way along, and I chase it until I've got no metal left. We'll give it a go. I can't really hold it anywhere. Here you go then, that's the first open corner butt weld that I've done. It's alright, it could have done with a bit more heat. I stopped halfway because I wasn't feeding the rod, so my hands got a bit warm. I'm just going to assume that I can TIG weld aluminium now and carry on with the rest of the job. On to the main event. I did buy this because I wasn't going to buy the air jacks, as I said before. I was going to put these all the way in the air jack mounts, just as kind of axle stands for the time being, so that's why I got them cut to this length, which is like 500 or something. But things change, don't they? So now I need to make these kind of axle stands for the air jacks. Don't know if people have ever seen them, but they slot in. So your doodah will come out of your air jack, and then you slide in a stand thing, and then I guess you let them down and they sit on that. So I'm going to try and do that out of these, which means I need to cut a big slot for it to slide over, and then once the slot's cut, I want to fill in the inside with a bit of 2mm to give it a bit more rigidity, and then I'm going to put a plate either end. I did have a bandsaw, didn't I?
Yeah, you do.
How good? I do have a bandsaw, it's just in North Wales, which would be ideal for cutting that, because you cut it nice and straight, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Whereas now it's going to be absolute toilet when I do this. Awful. I've got that chop saw at home. I could go and get that, couldn't I?
Yeah.
That would munch through that. This has got face shield written all over it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit rubbish. I'm going to cut out that section anyway, because that's where it's going to slot through, and then just try to use this, because I'll probably ruin something else further down the line anyway when I'm trying to weld it, so I'll just carry on, treat it as a practice, get on with my life. Might accidentally spray you with a bit of aluminium here.
Yeah, I'll probably lose.
And I just need to stick that on with the old, remember the MIG welder? We're going to use the MIG welder again. Do you know what, I'm just going to move you back a bit, because that's the third lens I've bought for this GoPro so far, and it's all been MIG welding. So, actually the last one it was covered in paint and MIG weld. How's that, you feel safe? Safe distance. Got my safety shorts on. It turns off after a while, unless you keep pressing on once every hour or so, then you just go blind. So I've got a nice forming tool now, and I've put this bit on the top. I went through a few different phases of this. I tried to just bend it around this by hand, so I got a bit of it, and that didn't work at all. That was way too difficult. So I put it in my sheet metal bender and tried to just do a little bit at a time to see if I could kind of like generate a curve. That didn't work either. That was way too difficult. So I made this thing, which is a press tool. It kind of works. The problem is it's still so stiff, this. It'll only form kind of 30–40%, and then the rest of it will spring back afterwards. So I think what I need to do is anneal this just where I want the curve, and then we'll try it again. See what I'm trying to do now? Fits in there alright, doesn't it? So I need to decide how I'm going to neatly do this. This is just a kind of play one, as I said, unless it works out alright, and then it'll be real. I don't know whether to cut it first and then tack it, or to tack it and then cut it. I think I'm going to tack it and then cut it. Right, here you go. I've cut both sides, and then I've cleaned one side because I didn't want to spend 5 minutes cleaning two sides, because if I bugger this up then I'm doing it all again anyway, aren't I? Or just buying some, they're not even that expensive. Worse things have happened. Too hot to show you, but I was trying to put more heat in, and I think I did that alright. It's kind of a bit more Colin McRae on the old pedal. Here you go. So that's alright. Been a few weeks since I've been down here. Since I filmed anything down here anyway. Look. What do you think of that then? Pretty good, huh? I know it looks a bit knackered, but we're all a bit knackered, aren't we? Works an absolute treat. Came down yesterday, but I forgot that. So what I did was I just made the other 3 of these. So they're all done, which is good. And then I cut them to length on there, so they're 190 something mil long. This is just awesome. You just press go and then leave it. And you can also do like really thin cuts. You can get a big chop saw, but thugs use chop saws, don't they? And gents use these, and it was cheap. And I like old things. So there you go, that's that. We've all seen it now. On the thug topic, I need to do the top plates now. So you're gonna have a little plate that goes on here, and it's all out of 6mm. I did have a go at cutting it with a normal hole saw. It was alright. Went through, just not that great. So I've got these TCT Starrett hole saws. So I need to try those on here. See if that's gonna help. I've got a bigger one for, what do I get the big one for? For the outside of it. So hopefully that'll work as well. And then for cutting this, I did think about it. Just not for very long. Just asking for trouble, wasn't it? So I got one of these. People really rate these in these chaps. I'm going to try and cut a big hole first, the big one first, and then we'll play with that afterwards. Sense of humour failure at the moment, I think. Why do we bother building cars? It's just, there's no fulfilment in it at all, is there? This is a stupid idea. A hole saw that big in this machine marked piece of shit was never gonna go anywhere, was it? Look at this. How much play is in the kind of headstock of that pillar drill. Trying to cut and it's just going everywhere. It doesn't go slow enough. So it's a no-no, I'm afraid. The top bits I'm going to have to get laser cut. I think what I'm going to do, the small one works alright, the big one is an absolute nightmare. I can do the foot plates, so I think tonight I might try and crack on with the foot plates, which just involve one of the small holes and then 2 long cuts. I might do that, get one of them done with the foot plate on, end the video, because I've had enough of this one, and then get the bits laser cut, stick them on the top of here in the other video, put the air jacks in the car and get it on the floor. Best I could do. My hype gloves got a bit too hot doing that, so they went. Also, I had to learn on the fly how to feed like that rather than I normally go like that, which is quite good actually. So, positives. That wasn't too bad. It's hot. It is hot. I had to put the stubby back on to get on the inside, but I got all round the inside. If you were to have bought it and then looked at the welding, you would have been like, oh, so I'm not very happy with that. But I'm happy, you know, I'm learning to weld aluminium, and that is particularly difficult to have that torch in there and kind of get the right torch angle and stuff. This one's taken a few weeks to film because I've been doing some other bits, and it does take a while to learn this kind of stuff. That's why it's taken the video quite a while to come out, because I've been having to accumulate tools and knowledge. I'm going to end this one here, and in the next one, which will only be in a week's time, I'm going to get the car all onto the floor and we'd have finished these, and the air jacks will all be working because I bought all the pipes and stuff. So I'll see you in that one.